Gorgeous, unique sky. Shabbat Shalom, good morning. Good morning, Karen. Good morning, Jeff, Meg, all around the world, wrapping around the world. There it is. There's the sun coming out. So we're over here at the foot of Mount Arbel in a very special place of many memories long forgotten. Memory. And things. Structures we build. Efforts we make. Barriers we set up. Danger. Pouring concrete, putting up metal guards at the roads, guiding our steps, looking for the right path, negotiating hills and valleys. The business of life. The business of life. Sometimes the business of life is preparing for death. So people make wills, transfer properties, motivated by tax issues. Which is partly an expression of solidarity and partly avoiding too much imposed solidarity. And here we see two tombs, two burial chambers here in this spot. Be careful where you walk here, people. So here you see this, probably a couple, right? Married couple. What were their names? Nobody remembers. November, remember. Remember November. Memories long forgotten. And a new day starts and other people are rushing where they're going. And other people are rushing to stop rushing. Acquiring real estate. Working, putting in cables that are covered over with weeds. And here's another burial spot, but it's all overgrown, so I can't show it to you. Here's the Sea of Galilee with a nice sweep along the sea to the mountains of Lebanon. Across to Mount Hermon, you can see Mount Hermon this morning. There behind the Mount of Beatitudes, up a little bit to the left. There it is, that shadow peeping up there behind the ridge, behind the Mount of Beatitudes. A little tenuous grey shadow from here. The amazing Mount Hermon, a tenuous shadow. Isn't that also the amazing figures in society become tenuous shadows as one general replaces another or leaves a vacuum and there's no replacement? All the regimes that passed here in 2,000 years and 2,000 years before that and 4,000 years before that. Armies that saw these hills, caravans of traders that crossed these areas, these valleys, that had a good drink at the Sea of Galilee for their camels and donkeys and mules. And somebody died and was buried. Remember November. The cause of death, illness, age. A November assassination in Dallas. I was a little boy. A black day. There's an interesting little spot here. I think I'm coming close to it. If I'm in the right spot, maybe it's a different spot. Yes, it's the right spot. And this was a very small, that's probably not less than a meter, you know. Let me zoom in a bit better for you. I guess that's it. So here you have my hand. It's bigger than my hand sideways, and then lengthwise it's about 2 lengths of my forearm. Cause of death, right now it's unknown. And so we remember the dead in November. And we ponder our own precariousness. And then we ponder our own grasping of our goods and holding on to stuff. And there we have Psalm, I think was it 112 today. Let me pull it up for you. Yes. Blessed the man who fears the Lord. His posterity shall be mighty upon the earth. Well for the man who is gracious and lends, who conducts his affairs with justice. He shall never be moved. The just shall be in everlasting remembrance. That's a very big claim, everlasting remembrance. These graves are just 2,000 years old. And who knows their names? Who remembers them? What a claim this psalm is making. And here we have another burial spot. It also looks small, but it might be longer than I see. You can see it's filled up with stone. The cows have passed by. Well, that's clearly one. There's also a possibility that this is a lid of a tomb. Oh, there's another one. This looks like the lid of a tomb, of a burial spot. I'm not sure if it's in place on top of it or has been moved. And our days are fleeting like the grass. Make friends for yourself with the mammon, with the goods of this world for everlasting life. People make friends to make a buck today or tomorrow or next year. That's also the lid of a tomb. It's probably moved from its original spot. Like some other ones we can see over here. There's another one there, but there are other ones that have been really moved. Apparently this entire area was all cemetery, which indicates Magdala's amazing extension back 2,000 years ago, that it had such a big cemetery and also such significant burial chambers. Another indicator of the prosperity of the town, as it was producing and exporting fish, and they were very important people. There were people before whom there was a lot of respect shown, as they employed others, they owned more property. To use your property, your gifts, to be a blessing for others. Blessed is the man who is generous and lends. The cows last longer than the grass, and the grass lasts for a day. And to build that everlasting inheritance. To live with charity. Paul has a great praise for the Philippians today, because they took care of him in his need. And he knows how to live in abundance and in poverty. That's a great line, isn't it? To know how to live in abundance and in poverty. Let's see how we negotiate this here. Maybe the best thing would be to go around here. In our little stroll and chat this morning at sunrise. This is the one all the tourists see, and guides pointed out driving along the road here. And it obviously got upturned. One archaeologist, as we walked here, said to me, maybe it was almost a year ago, I think it was during COVID, that this probably came from up there somewhere and it rolled down. And here we see a couple and a child spot. The sadness of burying a child. And our faith in the resurrection, of the dead. Well, for the man who is gracious and lends, who conducts his affairs with justice. Here there are more burial spots, because we'll all end up in the ground, you know, weak, unable to use our assets. Let's use them while we have time to do good. These are all pieces of burial, some of these big stones here. Look at this one here. This is a broken burial spot. And there's, I'm not sure what that is over there, but here we have more. Another broken one here. it probably continues here, but our time is almost up, so kind of a a little somber reflection this morning, walking through a 2,000-year-old cemetery. And you think of the cemeteries where our folks are presently buried in, and what's going to happen in 1,000 years and 2,000 years, and then there's eternal life. You cannot serve God and mammon. God knows your hearts. Beautiful lines, inspiring lines in today's readings. I wish you many blessings today as we remember in November. And we learn lessons for our lives as we speed along chasing our objectives to make sure we have that long-term objective clear. God bless you from the Sea of Galilee.